Hello, John Britt here. Welcome back to the pottery shop. Today we're going to talk about cleaning up the bottoms of pots. So a lot of times after you fire, there's burrs and it's rough, and so there's many ways to do that. The easiest way is to start with is like a grinder here, and there's many types of grinding wheels. And what you'll do is just touch up the edges. You can go from coarse to fine. So there's many types. There's this silicon carbide, there's an aluminum one, and then this green wheel is real good. It doesn't get real hot. Because sometimes what happens is when you're grinding the bottom of the pot a lot, it will get hot and chip off real bad. So when you're doing this, first thing to do is have a dust mask, because it's very dusty. So I'll just grind for 1 second here just to show you. I have glasses. Okay, so you got to have a good dust mask and some glasses. I also have earplugs. So now what you can see, like the bottom of this pot is not really that smooth. And sometimes what happens with pots is they're not all completely smooth. There's a foot. So a lot of times you have to come in here with these kind of tools and get in there and get some, and then you can also use a Dremel. And a Dremel will have a whole bunch of different bits with it. So one of the things about when you buy a Dremel is to buy the one with all the different bits, because it'll save you a lot of money, because they cost like $5 or more per bit. So now what I'm going to show you is a method Jeff Campagna uses. And he wrote an article recently in Ceramics Monthly, but he also had a web page and had this on there about 2 years ago. And he uses this water fed air polishing tool. So here is the details of everything if you want to get it. Costs about $145, and the pads cost about $85. So I'll show. I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, but you can see the way it polishes it. It's a granite polisher. Makes it very smooth on the bottom. You can often see the reflection, just like glass. So what we're going to do is I'll come over here, and here's the pads. I have this all set up. So here's all the pads you get. So there's 3,000, 1,500, 800, and they're Velcroed on. So here's our here it is. I've mounted it similar to the way he did, and then it's got an air hose, so there's no electricity involved in this wet area, and then there's a water. And I have just mounted it in my spray booth so I can let it drip. Alright, so I'm going to turn this on for a minute and just show you a couple. I won't do all of them, but I'll just show you a couple how it works. You just I mount the number 50 first. Okay, it'll be a little noisy. And then I turn that off, and then I will do the next one, which would be the 100. And you just press them down. And so that's probably enough. Now, so you can see how it works. So I would just keep going through the entirety of this group of pads. What I normally would do would be have my pots all laid out here, and then I would just start with the 50 and do all of them, then do the 100, then do the etc. all the way up to 3,000 and get them super buffed. Now I want to show you one more thing that we could do, and that is an excellent one that's called a diamond pad from 3M. It's just a little pad, and you can just hit the bottom. Sometimes you can do it wet also. So if you can't get a spot, or you miss a spot, or even if you don't have this setup, this can work also. Okay, now let me take you in and show you the poor man's method for doing this, and that's in here on my wheel. Okay, there's Boo. All right, so so what I had done before, I had seen this at Homer Laughlin China Factory. They had mounted these 3M pads onto a bat with Velcro. You just put Velcro down, then you mount these on. You mount this on there, and then clean it up that way. Now, what I discovered was that I could use Jeff's method with these pads and just hook them down there, and then do it the same way. You just don't have major setup, but you also, it's not as good because this is only like, I don't know, 200 RPMs, 300, I don't even know what. That out there is 5,500 RPMs. So it's much different, but and then you also have to put a little water on. So I've done this many times and it works pretty good. You do the same thing just with your wheel and just hold it there. And then you will put in another pad and keep going. Keep water, like sometimes those dip it in water. Okay? And these are diamond encrusted pads, so they last pretty long. Here's where you can get them if you want. These are on Amazon, in addition to the other company. Many places sell these things, but they're $65, and so you can get your startup cost down a little bit. And that should be it. So go grind about 1,000 feet and then let me know how it goes.